station. Hey, let's walk this way. This party will rock every minute stolen. If you wanna be my midnight mover, you blow my mind.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Allison's Energy. Today's video is going to be all about ego, which I'm so excited to talk about. Anyone who's friends with me knows that I love to talk about ego and like how your ego plays a role in like your actions and like the things you do. But to get started, I want to give an example of what ego is, and then I'll go into its actual definition. My best way to explain ego, if you're a girl, you're out at the bar, whatever, this guy comes up to you and he's like, hey, you want to dance, or can I buy you a drink? And you're like, no thank you. And he's like, you're fucking ugly anyways. Or like, okay, hoe, whatever, you're a hoe. That's his ego speaking. That's ego right there. He can't handle the rejection, and therefore his ego then speaks out to protect himself, because for some reason he has hurt feelings over rejection. It probably stems somewhere from his childhood and being rejected. The actual definition of ego is a person's sense of self-esteem or self-importance. So that's like, the common one, like, oh, boosting my ego. The psychoanalysis is the part of the mind that mediates between the conscious and unconscious and is responsible for reality, testing, and sense of personal identity. And then the philosophy is a conscious thinking subject. Another thing I like that is said by Deepak Chopra, he says, the ego is not who you really are. The ego is your self-image. It is your social mask. It is your role you are playing. Your social mask thrives on approval. It wants control, and it is sustained by power because it lives in fear. Like, yes to like all of that, okay? So I hope that gives you a little bit of a sense of ego, and I'm just going to talk about today how you can get more control over your ego to overall become a better person, and yeah, just kind of how it works. So when I was in high school and prior, I had like a huge ego, which is like not a good thing. And I'm not saying I walked around like, I'm the shit, y'all can't tell me nothing. Like, I didn't do that. Like, it wasn't that kind of ego. It was like I had so much pain inside of me, so that when anyone said anything to me, it was like immediate, like I need to react. Versus just being like, oh, they think that? Alright, that's cool. I know who I am. And that has to go along with what Deepak Chopra says, or Chopra, I'm so sorry. With what he says about it wants control and power because it lives in fear. So it wasn't until, like I said in my previous video, and if you're watching this video, I think my previous video does a better job of explaining like how my ego has worked within myself to my growth. But the first step to getting control over your ego is acknowledging where your ego like comes out most. Mine was definitely when I felt like attacked, like someone was attacking like me, my character, whatever. And the first step is you have to acknowledge that. So for me, it was if somebody's like, oh, I'm gonna beat her up, I would be like, oh, you gonna do what? Like, no, you're not. And I felt the need to like prove that and like project that and like let people see that, versus just being like, oh, alright, you're gonna beat me up, alright, we'll see. That's cool. I doubt it, but we'll see. Like I felt the need to like let people know, like, which, yeah. The second thing is practicing it. Like, you have to be aware of it and then practice it. Like, you have to sit and think and reflect constantly about the things that you're doing and being like, is this my ego talking or is this me? You cannot let your ego rule your life. You cannot. Another quote that for me I feel like goes back to ego is this one, and it is by Amber Veal. And it says, before you argue with someone, ask yourself, is that person even mentally mature enough to grasp the concept of different perspectives? Because if not, there is absolutely no point. And that quote is like what I live by. My ego used to have me arguing with like anybody who was like stupid or ignorant or just had a different opinion than I did. Like, my ego used to be like, nah, you're gonna hear what I have to say. And then it was like, stop, reflect, look at this person. Are they mentally mature enough? Are they emotionally intelligent enough? Can they grasp different concepts? Also, can I grasp different concepts? If not, walk away. You're wasting energy. You're holding on to this ball of fire and you're just burning yourself with it. You're not hurting them. You're wasting their time too. They're probably happily wasting their time. But don't waste your own anger. Like, your own, like, working yourself up, getting yourself so angry. For what? To make your ego feel better? To make you feel like you won a conversation? To make you feel like maybe you proved a point, but most likely not? Yeah, that's lame. Truly. And ego isn't always necessarily super drastic. Ego can be something as simple as, like, somebody cuts you off on the road and you're like rolling down your window and why am I'm like in like a fucking 90s car, born in 98, like, not even. You're rolling down your window and you're like, hey, fuck you! Like, that's your ego. Like, what did that do for you? That did nothing. Instead, you could just be like, driving. He cut me off. Deep breath. Go about my day, because I don't want to waste that 2 seconds of my day to be pissed off. Why would I want to be pissed off? Nobody enjoys being pissed off. I don't want to be pissed off. You want to be pissed off? Oh, you want to be pissed off? Okay, go off then, I guess, but not me. He cut me off. I'm glad he didn't hit me, at least. So on and so forth. You know? The other thing that's important to know about ego is that your ego, at the end of the day, it does protect you. There are instances where your ego is good and it protects you. For example, like cheating. Like, if you're in a relationship, someone cheats on you, your ego is most likely going to be like, nah, I'm good, bye, see you later, you're trash. Because your ego's like, I don't want to be on someone who cheats on me, you know? That's a good thing in certain situations. But there are many situations where people need to have more control and practice over their ego. And it is, like, crucial to, like, your relationships with those around you. And also just crucial to, like, your own personal health and relationship with yourself. I feel like another part about ego is learning to, like, take back your power. For example, my earrings. My earrings say ho. Ho is the word that's often used to, like, belittle people, you know, like, well, like, oh, this is good. You're at a party, or, like, you're just, you know, meeting a new girl, whatever, you're out somewhere, and some guy's, like, says to, like, another girl, like, oh my god, that girl over there is so cute, and that girl's all like, she's pretty, but, like, I heard she's a hoe. That's her ego. Like, that's her ego completely. Same thing if me personally, walking down the street, you know, you see someone in a weird outfit, you see someone with, like, bright colored hair and or, like, messed up makeup, and you're like, what are her eyebrows? What is she wearing? Why is her hair lime green? That's all your ego. Like, you just, like, your ego feels the need to, like, judge somebody. It makes yourself feel better. And guess what? You're, like, what are you doing that for? That person who you're judging probably already doesn't like certain things about themselves and looks in the mirror every single day and ridicules their own self. So why do you feel the need to add on to it? Do you like it when people do that to you? You're insecure about something about yourself and then somebody makes fun of you for it to your face, behind your back, whatever? No. It's not cool. Like, don't do that. Control your ego. But anyways, back to my earrings. So a girl's like, she's a hoe. I heard she's a hoe. Many people would take offense to that because they're like, oh my god, she called me a hoe. I'm like, take back your power. Like, you're a hoe, I'm a hoe, your mama's a hoe, your daddy's a hoe, we're all some motherfucking hoes. Like, literally, take back your power. Take back the power behind certain words. Seriously. It will make you feel so much better. You're a bitch. I'm the bitch. Okay? Okay, thank you. Seriously. That is like a service to yourself if you learn to take back power in certain words. Truly. Another good thing I like to think about that helps me with my ego is we can be so worried about our ego because of the fact that we want people to perceive us a certain way, and we're worried like, oh my god, like what if they don't perceive me in a certain way, you know, like for example, like that girl says like, oh my god, she's a hoe, and then all of a sudden you've got this guy believing that you're a hoe, and you're like, oh my god, my ego's gotta like now like prove that I'm not a hoe. That was so loud. Anyways, no it doesn't. You need to be comfortable enough with yourself so that you don't care what other people say. Because guess what? If they care about what somebody else is saying about you, you don't want them in your life anyways. You want people in your life who are going to get to know you for themselves and make their own opinions by themselves. You don't want to be around people who listen to other people's hearsay, who listen to other people's shit. Those people suck. Those people are judgmental. You don't want to be around them anyways. So guess what? Consider it a service. When someone says something about you to somebody else and then all of a sudden you got like 6 people believing that, now you're like, I'm so glad you believe that because now I know not to mess around with any of y'all because y'all all suck. Truly. Instead of thinking about it as like, oh my god, there's now 10 people who believe that I did this and I did that. No. Oh my god, there's 10 people who believe that about me. Idiots. I can't believe they didn't get the chance to know me themselves. Sucks for them. I'm a great person. Bummer. Literally. Like, you have to be all about yourself and all about bettering yourself and be like your biggest fan. There's so much more I could say about ego, but I could just go on forever. The biggest thing that helped me was definitely looking up just like quotes related to ego and like behaviors related to ego, and then also just like constantly consciously thinking about protecting my peace. What gives me peace? And it will take some time. It took me, like I said, years to get to this place, but you can do it, and it is 100% possible, and you will feel so much better. Thanks for tuning into this week's video. Next week's video is going to be about empathy and being like an empath and all that jazz. So, can't wait to see you guys again next week. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed. Bye!